My name is Benjamin Yodsenga. I am a student at Southern New Hampshire University. I'm working on my projects of CFA. I remember when I was the Dean of Students, it was in 2010. Uh, During that time, I had to work with the teammates who were the class representatives in order to solve the problems that were appearing on the school. During that time, all other classmates, all other teammates whom we were working together were not available. I had to go and solve all the problems that were appearing. Among those problems, they were a conflict which the two of our classmates had. They were quarreling and they were insulting each other. They were ready to fight. The cause of that conflict was the disappearing of the school properties. During that time, one of the classmates accused his classmate to steal those properties. It was a hard moment for that time, and then one of the two was to be dismissed if the headmaster knew that. At that time, I had to solve it before it reached to the headmaster. I went to the person who is spreading the information that his classmate stole the school property, and I sat with him. I asked him questions about the story that he's spreading. I asked him if he's spreading the true information. I asked him if he saw him, and then at that time he said that he didn't see him. He said that he was just trying to harass him, and I told him about the consequences that would result if the headmaster knew that, because that classmate would be dismissed, and the dismissal would be unavoidable, and then he would not have continued to study on that school. Yeah, during that time, I went to bring the two classmates who were quarreling, and then I asked him to calm down. I told them the conversation that I had had with the person who was spreading the rumors, and then they reconciled. They said that they will not do it again. After that, their relationship, which was worse, was restored, and then the good atmosphere in the school was restored. I remember also the time when I took initiative to teach my classmates. It was a group of 5 students who were the worst performers, and I had to teach them, okay, to teach them courses like history, geography, economics, and entrepreneurship. I had to explain them more things that the teacher hadn't explained in order to make them to increase their performance level. Yeah, during that time, I had a lot of things to do. I had to study for myself. I had to prepare for the exams which were approaching, and also I had to teach the whole class because I was an excelling student during that time. But I prioritized the tasks using a Covey quadrant, starting from the most urgent and the most important, and to the least urgent and the least important. And during that time, I handled those activities uh, before the deadline, and it was a good work for me because I received the thank you notes from those students whom I helped, and at the end it produced a good results as they had succeeded in the national exams. uh, Also, I remember another time when I worked under pressure. I had a lot of assignments. I had to work to care about my family, and I was pressurized to submit the assignments on time. I was overloaded, in short. And then, but I remembered that if someone works hard, he can reach on the goals that he had set. And then at that time, I tried to work on the assignments, and I tried to read through the requirements of the assignment, and then I tried to make a list of the activities that I had to perform at home. During that time also, I handled those tasks effectively, and I was able to manage all the tasks at the time. Also, the time when I had to work things that are beyond the call of my duty. uh, I remember when I was the class representative, and my duty was to look at the behaviors of the students, but there were other stuffs that were appearing, like the conflicts which I had to solve, and I hadn't to call the teacher to come and solve the problems because I was able to do that due to conflict solving skills that I had at that time, and then I was able to accomplish all those tasks, and the students were happy at that moment. Another thing that I would like you to know about me is that I am a detailed oriented person, and I am humble. I receive a person basing on his or her position without seeing he's a lower or middle person. I accept everyone how he is. And also, I believe that according to the Bible, if someone do not favor the people according to their race and according to their positions, he will receive heaven. And that motivates me. And I feel like being like Jesus is a good thing. I remember the time when I took initiative in the class of having a review with the students in order to perform well in the entrepreneurship exam. At that time, the teacher was obliged to come to have a review with us, but he was sick and he was not available. At that time, I went on the whiteboard and explained about the cash flow statements, about the journals, about the ledgers, and the students get the point, get to know about them, and then during the exam we performed well and we excelled. I was surprised to see the rewards coming towards me because I have helped them more, and I found that initiative is a good thing.